Yes, I'm not copying anything. I assume we are live now though. Are you copying anything there, Jason? Okay. Well, morning and welcome to the Sabi Sands. We're here in South Africa and it's a beautiful, beautiful morning. So, sorry about the slight delay. I'm not sure why I didn't hear Alex's transmission letting me know that we're live. And we are here driving through the quarantine range. It's one of the beautiful parts of June, and the sun's only been up for about half an hour now, so it's a beautiful time to be going through this area. And just an update on the way into work this morning, we had to stop by one of the repeater antenna masts to turn it back on. We switch it off at night time to conserve energy. And on our way there we did see some leopard tracks, but sadly they were heading in the wrong direction out of our property, and those looked to be tracks of a female, so that could have been Karula. But other than that, we're not too sure what to expect morning, and that is the beautiful thing about the mornings. So much can change at night, especially with the predators, who are the more harder animals to find, that we do kind of base our drives around looking for. So the best way to go about things now would be for us to find some tracks and see which direction the predators are heading in, and anything along the way we'll obviously stop and enjoy, but it is important to focus on actually looking for the predators because they are very tricky to find. So that will be the plan this morning. I'm thinking of heading down towards Treehouse Pan. Both Quarantine and Kunyuma spend quite a lot of time in that general area. So we'll start off looking for them, and then I'm sure it won't be long before a few of the other game drives are out, and I'll hear their updates on the radio, where they're looking, what tracks they find. And I'll hear the updates on the radio, where they're looking, tracks they found. No long. Before. I apologize. Thankfully, you haven't missed out on anything, and we are still slowly making our way to Treehouse Dam, and your timing was wonderful because now we have just found a big buffalo bull. There could well be a few more around, but this is the first one we've seen. And again, sadly my monitor is not working, so I know you're looking at a buffalo, but exactly what I'm not sure. I've just seen a second individual, but he's behind some very thick bushes, so we're not going to be able to get an angle on him. But it is normal for these old men to hang around in small herds, and that way they can protect one another, or help to protect one another against lion, who are the only predators that can cause trouble with these big animals. You may be able to hear some huffing and puffing. That is of a few more. There are several more buffalo in this area. And they sure do have attitude, the way they can stare straight through you. Oh, we've just got an oxpecker that's landed on his neck. And let's see if it tries to get into their ear. Yeah. It's obviously one of the most popular places for the ticks to latch on to the buffalo, and this is why, look at that, the oxpeckers managed to dig right into their ears, and that's where they're going to get their most easy pickings. But understandably for the buffalo it can be quite frustrating. Wonderful. It's a very useful nuisance though to have, because without these birds a lot of the herbivores would be riddled in ticks. And it appears that a few more oxpeckers have come in for the feeding show. How's that picture coming out, Jason? Good? Wonderful. Oh, and a fork-tailed drongo has just arrived into the mix. And if any of you were watching the drive I did a couple of days ago, we had some great viewing of fork-tailed drongos following a very big elephant bull. And they do this knowing that the large herbivores will flush up insects as they move through the vegetation. And this allows the drongo to then swoop down and catch an easy meal. So that's what that drongo is doing. But while it waits, it's going to be preening its feathers, as we can see. Oh, you're coming for a closer inspection. Stretch. That was an interesting little buffalo stretch we saw there. It is still early in the morning, I guess, so I could also be doing one or two more stretches as we ease into the day. But I think we should carry on. Good. For any of you who may be joining for your first safari, welcome on board, and for all of the regulars, welcome back. For the newcomers, just to let you know, it is an interactive safari, so there is the opportunity to ask me questions, and to do this you would hashtag Safari Live on Twitter or send an email through to questions@wildearth.tv. I've just pulled over to look at some tracks that were coming down the left-hand side of the road. They are indeed just hyena tracks, so not an animal that we actively track and follow. And we do find a lot of their tracks over roads, all the roads in the morning, because they do have to cover very large distances in search of any opportunities to, excuse me, excuse me, any opportunities to scavenge and or hunt. They do hunt, hyenas, so they're not strictly scavengers. A lot depends on the area that you find them in. Here, from what I've seen, they predominantly scavenge, and scavenge mainly from leopard, but also do their bits of cleaning up lion kills, all the bones. That's what their role is. They're the task force that comes in right at the end, and their role is to clean up as much as they can of carcasses that other predators can't necessarily process. And that makes up, I guess, mainly the bones that they target. But they do love meat too, so if they can steal a kill from a leopard or a cheetah, they certainly do. Again, I was just double checking there for any tracks, but there was no sign of anything new. A few days ago, I think again it was 2 days ago, we were driving down this road and we actually stopped to look at a bird, but while we were trying to get another visual of this bird that we had seen very briefly, Jason spotted a leopard walking in the background, I believe. So happy memories of this road, and hopefully with a bit of luck he won't be too far from us this morning. One thing I have noticed, and just chatting to Mark yesterday evening when he got back, it sounds like there's a few more elephants in the area, which is great because they seem to have moved out for a couple of weeks, but could well be on their way back. The marula fruits are starting to ripen here, and this will draw elephants into the area. I think they started ripening further north of us before here, and therefore I think a lot of the elephants did head further north into the Northern Kruger National Park, where they could have had access to these very tasty fruits that they love. But even this morning we did see some elephant tracks, looked to be of a small herd, so that is also a good prospect for this morning. Oh, Treehouse Dam evidently looks quite uninhabited this morning. I'm sure that will change during the course of the day though. It's a very popular hangout for buffalo during the heat of the day. But for now, it's just the weavers that are busy here at the dam, and I'm hoping that one is going to fly down onto these nests. Oh, I'll try and get this mouse bird. It's a beautiful red-faced mouse bird. There's a mouse bird, folks, with a beautiful red strip over its eyes. It's going to be very difficult for Jason to get onto, but he's trying his best. Sadly, they have popped out of view a little bit. What I'm going to do is try and reverse a little bit and see if we can get another angle, because they really are pretty birds. Oh, where have they gone? Oh well, we tried. Did you manage to get a glimpse of them? No. So now back to the weavers. Sorry about that. And oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! This is going to be an incredible angle. Watching this male build his nest. Wow, beautiful. It really is incredible to see how many nests have been built over the last few weeks. And that, I'm sure, was a really beautiful shot. It's the males that build the nests in the weaver community. And once they've finished, they invite the female to come and inspect it if she likes it. She hangs around. If she doesn't, they often tear the nest down and get the males to start again. So it's important to maintain high standards if you're a weaver when you're building your nest, otherwise you will have no luck with the ladies. Let's just wait a few more minutes and see if it comes back with another piece of grass that it will then weave into this nest. An unbelievable skill to be able to weave these nests just using their beak. I mean, imagine trying to just use your mouth to weave such an intricate design. Okay. How long will it take him to come back? Sadly, the weavers that are more active are all in the shade, so, and at a funny angle that we've battled to get to at the moment. So these nests that are in the sun are our best bet. Oh, there's a beautiful shot. My monitor's just come back, which is a help. Oh, and then it's gone again. So do bear with me, folks. It's difficult for me to narrate about exactly what you're looking at because I can't see. So apologies for that, but what I do know is that we are enjoying the sights of either weaver birds and their nests, or both. But we can carry on now before it heats up too much. I would like to try and get as much in as possible before today starts to cook, and it is going to be a scorcher today. Alex, how's everything coming along there? Yes, now I am, but I'm not sure if you've said anything in the last 5 or 10 minutes, because if you did, then I didn't copy anything. Oh. Perfect, thank you, Alex. Okay, copy, thanks, Alex. Copied both of those messages. One of which was that there's a spider web across the lens, so that should be gone now. Good. So along the way now, I am going to be searching for a marula tree to show you. I believe there's been quite a lot of interest in the marula trees, potentially because of me chatting about the elephants and their movements relative to the marula trees dropping their fruits. So I have got that information from Alex, who's in control, and I will find the best possible example that comes up for us to interpret. So What I can tell you before we get there is that what's interesting is that you do get male and female trees, and therefore the males will not bear fruit. So this tree that we are currently parked underneath now is a male marula tree, and as Jason pans up, oh no, hold on, it's a female, but her fruits are still small, so I didn't notice them. But she does have small green fruits, and again that shows that in this specific area that we're in, the marulas are still ripening, and you may be able to see a few of the green. If you zoom in, Jason, you might be able to show them some of the fruits dangling from this tree. Perfect, there's two right there dangling from the bottom of that shot. Well done. So it's about the size of a golf ball, that fruit, and the females bear the fruit, the males don't. So this is indeed a female, I was wrong initially. And the fruits will drop down to the ground when they're ripe, and they're a yellow color when they're ripe, and the elephants absolutely love them. But there's not even one fruit that's dropped from this tree yet, so that is why the elephants aren't here, and the reason that they're spending more time further north. Just got a question come through, Georgie asking if the elephants get tipsy. Morning, Georgie, from eating marula fruits. And the person that made the movie with a drugged up elephant simulating a drunk elephant eating marulas has caused a lot of misunderstanding, and it's incredible how widespread it is. But what we must remember is that without yeast and a proper fermentation process, alcohol will not be formed. You cannot just let fruit rot in a basket and expect it to turn into alcohol, and it's the same out here. So no, the elephants do not get drunk, and that is because the marula fruits are not alcoholic, they are just rotten. On the other hand, the local people in this area make a beer out of the marula fruits, but they do process them properly and add yeast to induce fermentation. So slowly, person at a time, we'll clear up this misbelief, but it is a very commonly asked question, which again, like I say, is unbelievable how that one movie so thanks for the question though, Georgie, all the way from Australia. Tim has just asked how much marula fruit is needed to make a marula beer. And Tim, morning and welcome on board. That all depends on there was a little bird fluttering around, a black-crowned chagger, a beautiful bird, but sadly it didn't stick around. So Tim, the answer to your question is a variable one, because it all depends on how much beer you would like to drink. If you would like to drink lots of beer, you would need many, many marula fruits. But it is a fairly labor-intensive job, because you have to squeeze the juice out of the flesh of the fruit, which is very, it's a thin layer of of flesh which surrounds a hard seed within which is a nut that you can eat. But that's fruit, like I say, does produce juice, but you do need to use many marula fruits to make the beer. It's not a, like I say, the majority of the inside of that fruit is a solid nut or seed, so you do need quite a few of them. But thankfully these trees do bear a lot of fruits. It's just a race between us and the elephants to see who can get them first. So now I've just seen some leopard tracks coming down this road towards us. I didn't notice any on the road we've come from, so I'm guessing therefore that this leopard has headed up to the left, and I'm just going to get out and have a quick look, stretch my legs. Well, good news. We have some leopard tracks to follow. They look to be like the tracks of a young male. So potentially Quarantine or Kunyuma, two of Karula's sons. Now for those of you who are new, we are very privileged to be able to follow leopards closely in this area, and we get to know them individually. There's a specific female called Karula. Gave birth to two males a couple of years back, or years, well, exactly 2 years, just over 2 years ago. And these two boys now are becoming independent. She sadly lost them. One to the others we're not sure. Now I hope he didn't head down into this riverbed. Well, not if he did, we can follow his tracks down there. I'm just going to head a little bit further down this road. And make sure this leopard that will continue following these leopard tracks. So if we break up, I'm sorry, I'm going to continue following the leopard. Folks, I know we are going through a bad signal area, but I'm not going to rush away from it simply to give you a good signal. I'd rather try and find you something to look at. So I'm sorry, but it's the but where there is better signal, and it won't take long for us to find. Okay, here his tracks are heading down into the riverbed.
Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush.
We are driving through this riverbed and the tracks are on the left-hand side of this riverbed, heading straight down, and I've driven this riverbed a lot of times hoping to find it, and this morning certainly is potentially our best shot, because for certain there was a leopard walking down this riverbed at some stage last night. It's hard to tell whether it was in the early hours of this morning or the early hours of last night, but every corner we go around I'm getting very anxious to look down, because it could be those tracks are still going down the left hand side of this track. Please, can we find him here? Or anywhere really, I don't mind where we find him, we should just find him as a starting point, but if we did find him in here, it really would be magical. Oh, I don't see his tracks anymore, so he could have veered out. So that doesn't look as promising as it used to, but he could be weaving in and out through this riverbed, and he could simply just be on walking along the sides, not walking in the actual path where the vehicles moved. And let's see if he hasn't popped back out onto this road up ahead here. I'm guessing that is where we are going to find his tracks.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us.
Welcome back. The riverbed is obviously a very low-lying area, so it can be troublesome when broadcasting from there. Hopefully now that we're out of it, it should just better. And also hopefully we're going to find these leopard tracks again shortly. Where could he be? a question come through asking, elephants are the only animals that eat marula fruits, and no, many animals will feed on the marula fruits. Try and get all those birds there quickly. Now these are the first red-billed Queleas I've seen stationary, and this bird that you are looking at here is the most numerous bird in Africa. There are billions of them, and this is a relatively small flock that we're looking at, even though you can see the tree is completely full of them. They're incredibly successful nesting birds, and they have these massive colonies. Oh, look at all of them coming in now. There's even more coming in. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for them to fly off, and Jason must just be ready to potentially pan out, because when they do all take off out of this tree or these bushes, you'll get a much better idea of how many there are. Really pretty birds though, the red-billed Queleas. Oh. Now, they've got the ability to be able to nest very quickly and effectively and efficiently, and they often do this in areas where insects may be hatching. There may be a hatching of locusts, for example. So they find an area where there's an abnormal load of food and then nest there, and they can do it in a very short time and make the most of these insect hatchings. So I'm just reading through the book. It's believed that in the Kruger National Park alone, there's 33 million birds that come in. So incredibly abundant bird. And here, just to emphasize how successful they are with raising young, their chicks fledge within 25 days of the actual egg being laid. So their chicks will be flying within 25 days of their egg being born, or their egg being laid, which is incredibly quickly. When you do find the areas that they nest in, the predators in those areas really are incredible. A wide variety of raptors and reptiles come in to try and make the most of the feeding opportunities. So now back to the marula question. Many animals will feed on the marula fruits. It's not just the elephants. The baboons and monkeys also love them, as well as some of the antelope that can manage to chew on them. Now I'm just going to loop around a bit in this area, because the leopard tracks we were following were fresh, but sadly out of it that they were heading down. I'm not sure which one. So it's just worth snooping around here a little bit. It could be lying down nearby. Got a question through from Twitter, from Kerry on Twitter. One would differentiate between a young male and it is difficult but the female's tracks are more angular, especially on that back pad with the 3 lobes. Honors, you'll find more prominent angles, whereas the males tend to have more rounded corners to the pads on their feet. So that is the major way to distinguish between male and female, but obviously size can be similar between a large female and a young male. So it is a very good point, but I'm confident that this is one of the males. The other, I mean, you can only assume so much, but the other lucky thing is that the female whose dominance in this area that we're driving now has got quite small feet relative to her son, so unless it was another female passing through the area that was bigger, it's easy to differentiate between Quelea and her sons, and this is their territory that we're in here. And where on earth did this leopard disappear to? Game drives are very quiet this morning. I'll keep them coming, Alex, thanks. Rosie's just asked me to describe the taste of a marula fruit. They can be, in general, they can be a little bit bitter, not very acidic. Well, they are quite acidic. They're very high in vitamin C. So depending on the individual fruit, they can be a little bit bitter, but they're very juicy and taste, I guess, in a almost like a sour lychee. A slightly sour lychee would be one way, or lychee as they may be pronounced elsewhere, different parts of the world. So possibly that. Jason, I don't know, how would you describe the taste of a marula? It's not an easy one.
I don't know, I've got to compare it. The skin is, I don't know, a little bit sour. What's Alex's word?
Tart. Yeah.
The flesh is, I don't know, it's sweet, it's juicy, it's delicious.
It's a very refreshing fruit to snack on. So sadly, I cannot describe it very well to you, so best you come out and try one here for yourself. But they are very tasty and refreshing. Now the game plan at the moment is to continue driving through this general area. What the game viewers would have done is they would have dropped their tracker off. They've got somebody on their vehicle who's a specialist in following the tracks of animal, and they sit up on a seat on the hood in front, and that way we can scan for tracks on the road easily. And once they find tracks, as long as they're on the road, they follow them. But then as soon as they veer off, the trackers then follow them on foot. Well, let's be ready to film in the fork of this tree here, because there are some African Harrier Hawks that nest here. They're not very welcoming of the vehicle though, sadly. But we may see one of them fly out of this nest as we drive past. It looks like they've been doing quite a lot of work to the nest, which is good. what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop on the other side of the tree where we'll have a slightly better view of the nest. I'm hoping. Just want to get a little bit further and then we'll be able to go back to it. There's a half decent spot. You can see it's not the neatest nest, but they have added a lot of twigs to it, these African Harrier Hawks. Now, African Harrier Hawks are a predatory bird. They're a bird of prey. Very, very pretty, and myself and Brian actually spent 2 hours broken down here a couple of weeks. We came to, well, we were driving past and we thought we'd stop and wait to see if any of the adults would return to the nest while we were here and try and slowly habituate them to the vehicle. And we planned to invest some time here, and thankfully the other vehicle was working, so Mark was also on drive. But we ended up planning to stay for 20 minutes, but ended up here for 2.5 hours. And sadly, in that 2.5 hours, the parents would fly around and land in surrounding trees, but they wouldn't come any closer to the nest. So quite shy, the adults, and obviously not home, otherwise they would have flown out. But a good prospect, and hopefully in the coming weeks we will get to get a glimpse of these beautiful birds. During the 2.5 hour wait here, we did get some great shots of the 2 Harrier Hawks, and they were changing their facial skin, which they do when they're courting, and they can change it instantaneously from a yellow color to a pink color, which is incredible to watch. Please tell me you're getting this. Look, the one's got something dangling out of its beak. Maybe an offering to a mate. But these are the beautiful... Oh, it's got a centipede. That's a seriously cool kill. Look at the size of that. And that's why the other one flew down to its partner there to protect it from a third woodland kingfisher that flew past that obviously wanted to steal this kill. Now, what we need to watch closely is to see whether this woodlands kingfisher doesn't take this kill and deposit it in a nest, which it's going to. No, it might do it. I wish I could see the monitor, so sadly I can't, but I hope you're getting a good view of this woodlands kingfisher with its centipede kill. Those centipedes are nasty. They can inject a nasty venom into you. Oh, their nest is here. But the sun is gonna kill us. Oh, it's just flown out, but let's see if we can get a different angle here. I know its nest is somewhere in this tree, but it was so hard to see exactly where. Let me turn the vehicle around quickly and see if we get the light right. We can't get a better view. Wow, that was cool. Beautiful, beautiful bird with a very tasty prey item that I managed to catch there. Okay. Well, if anything, we're going to have a beautiful view of the same individual we just saw with its kill. Now I'm trying to establish where exactly the nest is in this big old dead leadwood tree. There are quite a few potential cavities that they could be using, so difficult to tell exactly where it dropped its tasty meal off, but it is somewhere in this tree that the woodlands kingfisher is nesting. Oh, it's gone. Now I wonder how long it'll take to make another kill, because if we're willing to wait a few minutes, we may then establish exactly where did you think it was, Jason?
There's 2 holes on the other side of the tree. One looked very much like a...
Yeah.
That's where I'd look.
Yeah. But would we not have seen it from... No, we wouldn't have seen it from where we were.
It was just behind that tree.
Okay. So there's the hole there that you're talking about, Jason. Or
There's another one on the other side. There's 2 options for...
Now what's really interesting is that I can see some hair that's been on the... Just, can you see the second hole right on the edge? And then you can see that little tuft. Is it hair? It looks like hair. It could potentially be some hair of a giraffe that maybe scratched its neck up there. I'm not sure. Am I dreaming, Jason?
It looks like grass.
Okay, well it's grass. How?
I don't know. It's a tricky one.
It's just how would the grass be growing there?
I reckon it was...
Potentially, yeah, potentially a little grass seed from a bird poop. Managed to sprout but didn't get enough nutrients to survive and therefore died.
There's the Harrier Hawk.
Ah. So the African Harrier Hawk, to the birds that are nesting. Let's go back there and see if, well, what are we going to do? I think we see the problem is we park too close to this hole. Let's see if we can get a spot where we can view both nests from. I think it is going to be possible. It is. And that way we can... No, I think we might be wasting our time here. If there was another vehicle out, I would do this. And that way we could bounce back to us if we do get any action, but to just sit here for a long period of time would not be the best option. Oh, no, it's got another kill. Okay, the woodlands kingfish is back. If you just stay on the hole, Jason, hopefully we're going to see it drop off the kill. What's it got now? Oh, wow. It's got a really big juicy bug called a katydid that it's busy just trying to kill now. I wonder if you can try and maybe actually get it, Jason. It's going to be tricky. And then so it's got this big juicy green bug called a katydid. And I'm sure it is going to fly back to that hole fairly shortly. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, there it is right there. Straight into the nest, the lower hole, Jason. Up and out.
That was impossible. Sorry.
No worries. Jeez, what a successful hunter. It's come back with 2 massive kills in a very short space of time. So maybe we wait here for one more and rather than try and pan across, we just stay on the hole. What do you think, Jason?
I agree.
Is
he right behind the one?
Okay. Anyway, I think we've done well though, and if we do have more time, when both vehicles are fixed, we'll come back here, but to be honest, I would like to go and look for something else now. Good though, and we're building up a great number of different birds' nests to follow over the weeks. And this is the first official woodlands kingfisher nest that we found, which is exciting. The last one I thought I had found, I went back to a few days later and there were no woodlands kingfishers going into the cavity, there was tree squirrels. So obviously the squirrels kicked kingfisher, but that was cool to see the woodlands kingfisher with its 2 different kills. But now we need to go and find something a little bit more exciting. Oh, beautiful big kudu. I was looking down at the road, so I only saw it at the last second, but let's see if we can get some shots of him. It's thick here, so we're going to have to be quick. There's a few. Oh wow, beautiful. We know these boys. I'm just going to stop here and I should walk into shots. There they go. Now the reason why I say we know these boys is because the individual on the far right, Jason, has got an exceptionally wide rack of horns. Abnormally so. To a degree, it's considerably wider apart than they usually are at those top little tips. But they are beautiful, the kudu, and I'm going to try and creep forward a little bit. Let's see if we can get exceptionally wide rack. Just let us go 1 more meter. That'll work. Beautiful. Haven't seen them for a while, these boys. The last time I saw them was in the quarantine clearings, which is a few miles away from here. They really are majestic animals, the kudu. And as you can see, he's displaying how useful those large satellite dish ears are, and the useful adaptation that the kudu have for the thick vegetation that they live in. Because they are the browsers and feed on leaves of trees, they typically find themselves in quite thick vegetation. Oh wow, they are awesome and so relaxed this morning. You can see the second individual behind, and he's got a more regular shape of horns or spread in terms of width at the top. Beautiful. That one at the back's feeding on a white berry bush, and you'll notice many little white berries amongst that. I think will be feeding on the leaves though, not the berries. But it is one of the more prominent berry bushes in this area. And when you see berries that plentiful on a bush, you know that not many animals eat them, because there wouldn't be nearly that many if they were tasty. So that's a good indicator to us that we should steer clear of them. Beautiful. Well, they've carried on now, so shall we. Okay, now I'm hoping there's going to be some more interesting tracks for us on this road. It is a major highway used by lion and leopard of this area. Evidently not last night though. some hyena walking down the road last night. Obviously, as I said, they do cover huge distances, the hyena, every evening, so we do find a lot of their tracks on the road. Sorry, Jason. Jason, yep, go ahead with that question, Alex. Question's just come through from Lisa asking, morning Lisa, welcome on board, asking whether the kudu horns were hollow or solid, and they are solid. All ants got a keratin on the horn. The brown color that you see, that is made of keratin, and it's about 1/4 of an inch thick, hollow, and within that keratin bone inner. So they are indeed solid and solid. That is one way of differentiating between antelope and deer. Deer have got antlers that regrow every year. It's a very fast-growing bone that they shed every year. Where antelope's horns grow throughout their life, and they are solid. They've built
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it.
Sorry about that little on anything, thankfully. Are there any stations?
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us.
Welcome back. Again, apologies for the signal issues. I'm not sure how much of, I think it was Lisa's question, you guys managed to answer, but Lisa asked a question about the kudu that we were viewing earlier. And while I answer that, we're just going to keep an eye on this yellow-billed hornbill. They're beautiful birds, and I'm hoping it's going to unleash its call, and they've got a very comical display they do with their wings, which hopefully you will see shortly. But Lisa asked whether kudu's horns were hollow, and the answer to that is no, they are not. And the answer to that is no, they are not hollow, Lisa. They are solid. The inner of the horn is bone, and that bone inner is covered by the brown keratin sheath that you can see. On the kudu. So within that is a solid bone inner, and the keratin sheath is about 1/4 of an inch thick, so fairly thick, but hollow, the actual sheath, but the horn itself is not hollow. So you could literally, with the kudu, if a kudu is dead, you could pull that keratin sheath off the brown bony inner, and I hope that answers your question. Now, I think this hornbill is warming up to do a call, so let's just hope he does it. It must be really beautiful, the picture you're getting. I'm sadly getting nothing as my monitor's not working, so... Oh, there it goes. And sadly it didn't let off its call for us, but it was still a beautiful sight. And they are beautiful animals, the comical looking hornbills. We did manage to capture their wing display they called just the other day, so that was good. The birds do make so much noise that it is nice for us to show you them actually doing their call, so you can A, see what they look like when they perform the call, and B, get an idea of exactly which bird is making the noises you may often hear. Sadly, there are no game viewers out, so again, I'm not sure if you copied that message that I was trying to give you a few moments back, so I'll just recap that there are no other vehicles traversing the area that we are this morning, which is great because we have the whole place to ourselves. But on the same token, it can make finding animals difficult because there's nobody helping. So that is the scenario we are in. If we find something, it'll be great because we won't have to worry about any other vehicles or sharing the sighting with anyone. Can you get that's going to be okay. And I'm getting a thumbs up from Jason saying that he's got the little terrapin in shot. You can probably only just see the little head poking out. But incredible how the terrapins inhabit these little temporary mud wallows, which will dry up potentially before the next rains, and then they'll have to scurry along to their next little puddle. Okay, we are arriving at Buffalo's Hook Dam. One of four dams rather, on Gowrie, on Vuyatela, the property that we can traverse. But sadly, there's nobody home today, so we are just going to continue on. An update on Jigga, which is the second vehicle that should be usually up and running, but sadly it's been causing a lot of trouble for us over the last few weeks. However, the good news is it will be hopefully up and running tomorrow, we're hoping, so that is something to look forward to. That both vehicles will be up and running as of tomorrow, so really looking forward to it. The questions just come through from good morning, Dawn, welcome aboard. Dawn was asking what the terrapins do in the dry season when all these puddles dry up, and they will make their way to the bigger dams, the permanent sources of water, I guess, would be how a lot of them survive. And then I'm sure a lot of them get stuck. You know, they might through the wet season make their way to different water points that when they do dry up, it's too far for them to relocate on other water points and get possibly caught and killed or die along the way. But there are permanent water points that they will be able to seek refuge in during the winter. Obviously food is more abundant if they can all spread out during the summer rainy season, so that is what they do. Good question, Dawn, and thanks for sending that through. A porcupine walked down this road last night. Wouldn't that have been nice to see? Sadly though, the porcupine are nocturnal and we don't spend too much time out after dark, so our chances of showing you a porcupine are very slim. And even if we did spend a lot of time out after dark, we don't see them very often in this area. Just their tracks, which is how I know there was one here last night. You can see the little pad marks going down the road. Okay, so we're just coming on halfway through the drive. I'm hoping the second half of the drive will pick up a little bit. This is the same road we were driving down when we found that baby python a few nights ago. That was really cool. The smallest python I've ever seen. And with a little bit of luck, one of its siblings may be slithering across the road today for us. I think there's around 20 to 30 eggs roughly in an average clutch of python eggs. So there could be many babies in that general area. And even though there are many snakes in this area, we sadly very seldom see them. So when we do get a good sighting like we did have of that young python crossing the road, it is always something we enjoy because it doesn't happen often. wonder when the wild dog are going to pay us a visit again. They've came in for, it was maybe 72 hours they were in the area, kind of 3 days, and then they were gone. But that is typical of wild dog. They move huge distances and aren't stuck in a set territory. They've got large home ranges. Hopefully soon they'll be back, because they did provide us with some great viewing, and there are such wonderful animals to see. So they would like to come as an apex predator in this area that we have yet to show you, the cheetah. And there are 1 or 2 floating about, but again, sadly, they haven't graced us with their presence yet. But that is another predator that we don't see very often. That is one we hope to show you in the coming weeks.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us.
Sorry about that cup again. Something I always hear about when we bring through on the slightly quieter mornings like today. I always wonder how close we may have driven past a predator and not seen it. It's very often meters of the animals we're looking for, knowing they're there. But it's something that is in my mind in times like this. Through that riverbed. Video camera all sorted there. black-headed oriole we can hear calling. It's a very pretty bird. Oh, here is that. Where are you hiding? It's a bright yellow bird. It's pinpoints exactly where it's calling from. There's a few potential trees that it could be in. Wherever you are. It flew off. Now you're calling further away. So sadly we couldn't show you the bird, but at least you got to hear it. The black-headed oriole. Beautiful call. Thankfully we've got some cloud cover moving in, which is going to cool us off the second half of the drive, and also I'm hoping mean that any animals that were planning on seeking refuge from the sun are no longer going to do that, thus increasing our chances of finding something interesting to look at. leopard tracks. Okay. Well, this is good news. We've got some leopard tracks here. They look like they could be female tracks. And if they are, in fact, the female tracks, I wonder who it is, or if it's the same tracks of another, or the same tracks of a female that we saw far from here, but we were morning, so they would have been also from movements of a leopard last night. Well, this road is very difficult to... Oh, there it is, yes, we found it, thank heavens. Awesome. So it's just slunk off into this vegetation. Why, I don't know. It seems like it could be a little bit of a nervous leopard, which is not what we want. Let's just go slowly. Okay. Now it's going to be close to impossible for Jason to focus on it, but it is in this thicket in front of us. Have you got it there? So folks, you should be able to see a few spots. It's growling at us, and it could be growling at the camera. They don't like being looked at, leopard. And the big lens from the camera sometimes induces a snarl from them. I wonder who it is, but I'm sure in a few minutes it will calm down and become... Oh, there's a big yawn. It looks... I can't tell very much from the brief glimpses we've had. Oh, slowly continue to growl at us. It is a young male, potentially Kunyuma. He is less or more likely to growl than other leopards. So it isn't... I was wrong about the tracks being that of a female. But how awesome that we've got to see another leopard. Now the trick is going to be trying to stay with it. But thankfully these vehicles are exceptionally maneuverable off-road. Watch out for branches here, everyone. This is going to be tricky. We're going to have to do a big loop around. And I'm going to... Oh. Please, can we not lose this leopard? Okay, hold on everyone. This is going to be a little bit bumpy. But we do need to move quickly, because in this kind of vegetation you can lose track of these animals in seconds. So I'm just trying to loop ahead now of where I saw it was last heading to, which is somewhere around here, I'm sure. Hoping it's going to pop out. Where have you gone? Come on. Not even a joke. Please. Okay, now sadly we've headed into an area that's not exactly where I'd like to be now, so I'm going to continue to try. We've got it. Well done, Jason. Okay. Just going to turn around the vehicle. It seems like it's heading towards us. I still haven't had a glimpse of it, but Jason has. Well done, Jason. Oh. walking?
It's stopped and it's slanted, but it was walking.
Okay. 1 second, folks. Okay, good. I'll take this little gap here then. Okay. Okay. Well, folks, the good news is we haven't lost it, and it appears he has calmed down a little bit. And we should be showing you another picture of him shortly. He's just sniffing about in a dead tree. Hopefully he'll jump onto it for us. Yeah, where has he gone now? Other side.
Just outside this background.
Oh my God. You can hear the rattling testicular making a racket, and that is because of the leopard. Okay. Well, I'm really happy that we have changed the tune of this morning's drive. It has been a little bit slow until we found the leopard tracks, and seconds later the leopard. We got very lucky. Oh, you're joking. No, it's just gone through the other side to where we were. So it's making us work this morning, which is fine. I'm happy to work hard to see this animal. I'm just happy that it is allowing us the odd glimpse of it for now, but it should get better as the morning progresses. Let's just give you the shot of him walking through there. Oh no, don't bother. I don't think that's going to be... Well, let's see if we can get a shot of him quickly. Heading off through the grass. It is a beautiful sight, but we are quite far from it, and to get to where he is now we're going to have to keep moving, so bear with me. Okay, let's go. Got a view of him again, so nothing to worry about. He's slinking around quite purposefully here. I'm not sure what it is he can smell, what it is he's looking for, but he is certainly sniffing around this area a lot. Great camera work there. It's not easy to stay focused on them as they pass through this vegetation. So well done, Jason. Which way to go now? Watch out for thorns. He's right, you know. Great. Beautiful. He has appeared to have calmed down with us, which is great. And now, folks, we are going to be spoilt by spending as long as we can for the rest of the drive with this leopard. A leopard on the move is one of the most wonderful things you can follow or wish to see out here, because they are beautiful animals and they really are exquisite to watch on the move, and the chance of seeing them do something, i.e. catch something, is far greater when they're on the move than when they are stationary. You might just be able to get a shot of that tail twitching, which would be wonderful, as it stops and assesses. And it's common for predators to do this, to move a short distance, stop, reassess, because by walking too boldly and without stopping and looking for any potential prey, they may chase off a potential meal, or on the other hand, come across predators such as lion, or foes, enemies such as lion or hyena, unknowingly. Just going to do my best to try and get ahead of him. That way get you a shot of his face. So it'll take a bit of a gamble here. We're not sure exactly which path he is going to take, but by getting ahead of him, we may just be able to get you a frontal shot of him walking towards us. So let's just wait here. He's just leaning up on a branch, looking at something. I'm not sure exactly what, but we'll give it a moment or two. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a shot from here, but he is somewhere. He is somewhere in that thick vegetation. And now, has he started moving? No, he's still looking intently at something. Maybe he's seen a potential prey item. We'll be able to judge from his body language whether this is the case. Let me just go forward a little bit, as Jason cannot get an angle on him from there. This might work. Look at him looking at us, beautiful. Again, folks, sorry I don't have a monitor, so I'm not sure exactly what Jason's got, but he's got a thumbs up for me. So you must have a beautiful view of him looking back through this vegetation towards us. Sorry, I'm not moving the vehicle there, Jason. What can he see? Well, I'm looking up in that direction he's looking in and cannot see anything. It is very thick though, so he could well have a different angle to us. Now let me see if I can work out who it is. I'm not sure if any of you have managed to get a look, but I doubt it because we haven't showed you many good shots of him. But Gloria on Twitter has just asked what we look for to ID a leopard, and there's various spot markings that you can look for. All leopards do have different spots, and the spot markings on their face and around their whiskers are often the best indicators. So the black dotted line that their whiskers come out of just below their muzzle, there's a small line of dots above that line of whisker dots, and it's those dots that are the main dots that are used. I didn't manage to get a good look at him now, so I'm not sure who exactly he is, but I'm guessing it could be Kunyuma. And there's a lot of people who view these animals regularly on the shows and have actually watched them grow up over the years when WildEarth was here a few years back, and they are also saying he's Kunyuma, so that's great news that we've got a confirmed ID on him, and I'm hoping you get a good shot here. Beautiful, look at that. Oh, a little snarl. Notice he doesn't like Jason's outfit today. Beautiful. Okay. Could be back on the road now. Oh, sorry, Jason. Which is good news. And there he goes, slinking past us. Well, we have hit the jackpot, even though there are no other vehicles out today, which was proving to be a little bit tricky for us to find animals. We did manage to find one, and now we are enjoying the spoils, and this is what it's all about. If you're not turning that video camera on, please. Thank you, sir. Why did you have to go off the road? So sadly he did veer off this road, and the area he is now heading into is very thick. But we might just get lucky. I've lost my... Oh. That gives you an idea of what we're dealing with here. Exceptionally thick vegetation. Okay, keep a good idea of where we are there. I had to do quite a big loop here to find a way in. Ooh la la. This is tricky, but it's doable. Oh, maybe not. What was that? Okay, we can get over here. Squeeze tight on the right hand side. Ooh. Squeeze tight on the right and the left. Oh, jackpot. Well, just in the few minutes that we have been here, folks, following him, you've got a good idea of how difficult it would be to see this animal if we were just seconds off. If it had veered off the road, you could drive straight past him so easily. Hence, earlier why I was chatting about why, or how my mind wanders as to how close we may have got to predators without knowing that they're there. It would be so nice to know what he is doing and why he's moving the way he is, zigzagging from side to side. But what I can tell you is that that stomach of his is empty, and his behavior is showing that he is very intent and focused, and I think that focus is hunger driven. So, not a bad situation for us to be in, following a hungry leopard. I could certainly think of worse places to be. He should be coming into shot again shortly as he passes through another little break in the foliage. Oh, wonderful. Now, where do we go next? The best bet is to try and stay behind him. Looping ahead in this thick vegetation is risky, and we could easily lose him if we continue to do that. So let's just be safe and stick with the tail view for now. Where is he taking us? I certainly haven't been into this neck of the woods yet, so enjoying the adventure. I hope you are too. He just stopped to groom himself. She'll give us a moment to hopefully give you some better shots of him, but sadly he is facing away. I guess it doesn't matter which angle you are looking at a leopard from, they are always very pretty animals to view. Even if it is just the tip of their tail twitching. I'm guessing he's going to give us one or two looks back in this direction that we can look forward to. Let's see if my predictions are correct. Nope, not today, but you can see from these shots that stomach of his is empty. So hopefully we'll see him fixing that problem in the next hour that we've got to go. That is if we can stay with him. I do fear we may lose him because we are heading closer towards the riverbed, and it's just going to continue to get thicker and thicker until we actually get there. Oh la la, it is getting very thick now. But luckily, watch out. Good. But luckily we seem to be always finding a decent pathway, allowing us through and allowing us to stay with them. Now I need to scan carefully because we haven't had his visual for a while. I'm thinking he's going to pop out a little bit further ahead. Could be wrong. He could come out behind us. But hopefully he'll pop out here. Oh, this is when I start getting nervous. Every second we can't see him is a problem. But we did do quite a big loop, so he did have a bit of ground to cover before he'd be popping out here. It's just difficult to tell for us if he's been stopping and starting to groom himself or if he's continued moving. Oh, come out wherever you are. Okay, now, are we going to be able to find him again? I think that spot where we were in a bit earlier was the best spot. Oops, sorry, that stump's got us a few times now. I'm hoping this little clearing in front of us is where he will pop up. It is where he appeared to be heading towards. Mr. Leopard. Things are not looking good at all. Because in this period of time that we've lost him in this thick vegetation, I fear that we may not find him again. We did get so lucky to be able to follow him for as long as we did through this thick stuff. What do you think, Jason?
I have absolutely no idea.
He's speechless. Yeah, the drongo is using us like it would a buffalo or an elephant, waiting for us to chase up insects that it can then fly down and catch. Come on, leopard, you don't understand how much you would love to spend the last 45 minutes with you. Just want to go and check down. There's a little bit of a clearing. It looks like that we can see down to here. We may have already got to. Oh, yes. I think I heard an impala alarm call. Or was it the bush? Scraping against the car. This was the same tree that was quarantined that we watched sleeping a few days ago. And just like quarantine, Kunyuma could well know this tree. Could well come here, as they would have spent time here growing up as cubs. So that tree that Jason's focusing on now is the tree that quarantined his brother was up just a few days ago. But no sign of him here now, sadly. What to do. So now, I think we need to go back towards the last spot where we saw him, just to double check that he's not lying up anywhere there. He could pop up at any second. He was moving in this general direction, but because we haven't viewed him for a while now, it's going to be difficult for us to find him again. Spot or an insect on the left hand side of the lens. I can't see anything. Jason, I don't know if you can. It's all good, it's gone. Maybe it was a bug. Oh well, that was great, folks, that we did at least to have a glimpse of that beautiful leopard. And we're going to do our best. Oh, here he is again. Yes, he's heading to that same tree. But I'm not going to take a chance, or am I? I am not going to take a chance. There's a strong chance that he could climb up the same tree that we saw his brother in yesterday. Well, not yesterday, just a few days ago. He is heading towards it. I'm just going to confirm before I rush back there. But we can, yeah, he is going there. Okay, hold tight, folks. We are hopefully going to see him climb up the tree that his brother was up just a few days ago, and wouldn't that be awesome? Yep, he's going there. He's going straight there now. He's either going to lie up on a termite mound next to us, or he's going to go up the same knobthorn tree. Now I can just see the termite mound now. If he does go up it, which I'm sure he's going to do actually, we can have a beautiful view of him peeking his head over now, this termite mound to our left is where I'm guessing he's going to poke his head up and over for us. I hope I'm right. It'll be an incredible view because he will flatten his ears as he pokes his head over. If he doesn't do that, I'm hoping he's going to climb up the tree that Jason showed you earlier. In the meantime, I wonder if I'm going to be able to actually reposition this vehicle in a better spot. Can we get through there? No. That would be tricky. Can we get through there? No, that would also be tricky. Hopefully these vehicles are incredible at what they do. So you can do some incredible stuff with them. Okay, I've just found a way across, and then this way I think we'll be able to visual of them in the riverbed. It's going to require going over this little branch. There you have them, and we're going to get a beautiful view of them just crossing this riverbed. Beautiful, look at that. Now that, just there, that split second look that he gave us was really beautiful. Whew. Well, our four-roading skills are getting tested today, and Romeo's abs are being tested as he has to cling on. Okay, everyone holding on? Good. Okay. Well, thankfully, because we've been in this area before, I know a few sneaky little tracks that will help us to give you the best visual possible of them, and it is going to require us to just go I wonder if we're going to be able to get back. Yeah, I think we stick with that. Again folks, Jason's got his work cut out, leveling the camera, getting the horizon straight, and then focusing on this animal with so much foliage around, so bear with them. But I can see now he's zooming in at the perfect time. Oh, he is looking very, very intent, like he's about to almost start chasing something. So I'm going to take a risk and loop around and see if we can't get a view from the other angle of whatever he may be interested in there. It is risky, but it's worthwhile. Hold on. Oh, sorry, Jason, hold on. Now, there could well be some antelope up here. There's something that he may be showing interest in, because he did appear to be stalking there. Get a view from here. Can you see it from here? No. Okay. I'll see it from here. No, it's not perfect. Can you see him from where you are there? No. He's sniffing around very intently in this bush. I wonder what he's got in there. And that's obviously what I thought he was stalking. He's now just sniffing very intently. And a young male leopard like this will be highly opportunistic. Birds' nests, You'll eat tiny birds out of nests. Baby birds, at least it's a small meal. Because the art of hunting is not an easy one to perfect, and I don't think he's perfected it yet. I think it's safe for us to go a little bit closer, get you a better angle while he sniffs around in this bush. There we go. Now that's better, that's beautiful. So interesting how they can just read into so much just from their nose and their sense of smell. Something that I don't think we can even begin to comprehend the power of their smell. And now you can see that grimace he's performing, and that opens up a scent organ, or a sensory organ that helps process smell. And the scent organ is in the upper lip, so by flaring or grimacing like that, a term known as phlegmon, they open up that organ and allow it to process the information better. Well, we are going to do another loop. It's been a loopy morning following this leopard. Looping ahead, looping back, looping forward. But all worthwhile, all very, very worthwhile. Sadly, it does require us having to race around a little bit to ensure we get you some good shots, and also to ensure we don't lose them as we go. Now, where or how can we not actually see him is beyond me, because he was heading straight towards this big open clearing, and I thought it would be almost guaranteed that we find him easily as we came over that rise. Wow. Bizarre. Well, that just goes to show how quickly they can disappear, and also emphasizes why I was trying to get there as quick as possible. Make sure. Very strange that we lost him in this very short space of time in relatively open ground, but that's how it goes. I think I just saw a blur of gold. That could have been him. No. What could have happened is that he may have decided to lie up in the shade of some of these thickets. So I'm guessing that's where we might find him. Hey? Jason? How could he have disappeared? Well, I'm at a loss for words, because I really didn't expect that we'd lose him there and then. Oh.
Maybe he ate a chameleon.
But we have temporarily, yes. Maybe he has Found something in a thicket to snack on. The area we lost him in earlier was understandable, but right now I literally am completely shocked that we've lost him, because it was just such a small gap that we lost him for, and he was heading to a very open area where we would have assumed we could have found him again. But this goes to show you again, animals can disappear and how good they are at it. Are you hiding somewhere right here, right below our nose without us knowing? Potentially he is. What do we do now? Let's just drive around a little bit and head in the general direction that he was in, and hopefully pop up again. But I really am surprised that we haven't found him, because check down here quickly, see if he didn't slink past us, and if he didn't, then we'll go back on the same road. He may have doubled back on the riverbed that we saw him cross. Okay. Nothing to see here. The riverbed that we saw him cross. Okay. Nothing to see here. How much time have we got? Half an hour. Welcome back, folks. I believe we just had a short signal break. I just want to double check that he didn't walk down this riverbed, but I don't think he would have. Hopefully he's not too nearby. Well, he hasn't come this way. There? Oh, nice. We've been doing a lot of these visits with us over the last few days. They'll stick on. This one's actually lost one of its legs. Pick up a few sticks along the way, I think, when we're off-road. I'm astonished that this leopard disappeared in that very small area. So it could just be that it's lying up. It could just be that lying up. Right, worth us trying to relate it. Off beforehand. No problem. All good? Cool. Angles, yeah. This was general that this leopard was heading in before we left. So maybe we'll get lucky. Fairly instantly on our left. So could him that they see. Try and get to this Franklin. It's going to be cheap to the session, but with a bit of luck when we get there. We're going to find the leopard. But we are going to get there because it's very thick. If we get there because there's long enough to be Franklin. So we need to try and get there. Sorry, hold on, nearly lost Jason there. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. There's a belt of try and make it through here. If we don't have any help, it's watch out for the branches and try and, oh sorry. we've got to be careful of these round leaves we're driving through. It's called round leaf and it's a very strong wood that sometimes has big stumps that we can't see below the thinner foliage. Well, something is going on here. Yes, not a but because these birds are seriously shouting here. What is that? That's not a bird that's making this alarm call. I'm not sure what it is. But it's not happy. I'm going to be able to get around the other side of this tree. Yeah. I think it could be a squirrel. Oh, it's not. It's a crested francolin. Let's see. Now something is alarming this francolin. Maybe she's got a nest here. Maybe there's a monitor lizard raiding the nest. Maybe there's a snake that's caught one of her chicks. I'm not too sure. Maybe a snake. It's caught one of it. I'm not too sure, but she is sneaking. What do you Well, having a look around you, it's very, very thick, as you can see. And sadly, because of this very thick vegetation, we can't tell what it is she was alarming at. But there certainly was something that was bothering her here. Sadly though, we are not going to know what it was. Okay, well we luckily got back onto the road. So we're long to see where it takes us. One of our wheels may have come a little bit loose. No. Just a funny banging noise that was coming from the front left tire there. Okay, bless you, Jason. So, just for that, we'll carry on slinking about. Maybe the leopard pops up, maybe it doesn't. But I would be very interested to know where it went. I cannot believe it disappeared from us in such a short space of time in such an open area. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is now we're going to follow this road out. It takes us out towards quarantine clearings. I just wanted to come back and have a look in, one last look in the spot where we did last have a visual of him. But sadly, he appears to have evaded us. Off-roading has caused the one hub to evidently come loose. I can try and tighten it now, but they seem tight, the bolts. Should probably just do it now quickly if I can find the spanner relatively easy. Oh. Hey? Could be. Oh, well done, sir. Good. Well, we are just doing a few minor running repairs here to the vehicle. The mud guard had come loose and was rubbing against the tyre. But thankfully, we have the joyous invention that is the cable tie that makes quick jobs like this nice and easy. Okay. Well, even though it's been a few times since we did last see that leopard, it could well be around anyone on us. This was the area it's moving through towards. There's still hope to get a few more glimpses of him, but if we don't, we can wait for that at all this morning. So, especially through that thick vegetation, we're extremely lucky to follow him. Easily discovered and experienced rather. I'm just double checking to make sure he didn't pop out onto this road and continue on his morning missions, but it appears he hasn't made it this far. Probably still back somewhere in amongst a network of little riverbeds, which is an area very close to where he was born and raised, around this lodge. We're very close to the Juma Lodge, and they were left a lot of the time in and around the lodge by their mother, because she knew it was a safe place to leave them, with less chance of predators coming through the area due to the human presence. Got some fresh elephant tracks on the road here that were not here this morning. This is the road we access Juma on every morning. There were a few tracks all milling around. There was no specific direction that I could get them traveling in. But we might be able to find them in the next few minutes, if they're not too far, which I don't think they are. I've seen one, or a mound of earth. No, it was sadly a termite mound. Okay, now we've only got 10 minutes left, so we may as well enjoy ourselves here in the quarantine clearings. Now what you're looking at here is a hornbill nest, but what is very interesting is that when we were here 2 days ago, the hole that you're looking at was a lot thinner and much more similar to that of a coin slot. Now, what happens with the hornbills is that the female encases herself within that cavity in the tree using excrement to create the walls that close her in, and then she'll incubate the eggs. Once they've hatched, she will spend a little bit of time in the nest with them, and then move off, break out of the cavity, and then help the male to feed her. So maybe that is what's happened. Maybe the chicks are now big enough for her not to be in there with them, and are also very hungry and require both adults to help feed them. So we'll just give it a moment or two and see if we don't see any adults coming back to feed the youngsters. I wonder why exactly that coin slot was broken. What I'm hoping for is and the beautiful thing about this nest in specific is that because it's out in the open, you can give the cameraman a challenge of trying to follow the hornbill in as it comes in to deliver the food. Although a cameraman of Jason's skill set is nothing to worry about in a situation like this. So He's sitting here very calmly, not concerned. That's potentially because he thinks that the hornbill will not come. That could be one of the reasons. Well, folks, I'm very, very happy that we did get to see Kunyuma, I believe it was, this morning. And the good thing is for this afternoon is that prospects are good in that we know the general area that he was moving in. Even though we knew exactly where he was at one stage and we still managed to lose him, at least now we know where we could potentially bump into him this afternoon. We can assume he's not going to be extremely active during the day, but then again, could be wrong. Due to his hunger, he may be forced to move a large distance looking for food. I'm hoping though that he doesn't move too far though, and the reason why he wouldn't move too far is because it is getting exceptionally hot despite the little bit of cloud cover that we have helping us. But good prospects for this afternoon, and hopefully some more guests arrive into the area today and we have more game viewers, game drive vehicles out, because that will also greatly aid in our quest to find animals and show them to you. I'm very surprised that we haven't had the hornbill adult come back to this nest yet. Well, maybe hunting's a little bit more difficult this morning, for whatever reason it may be. But usually they're back every couple of minutes to drop off a kill. Whew. I think I'm going to jump straight into a cold shower after this. It is hot and sticky today. Go ahead, Alex. Just got a question through from Eliza in Calgary. Good morning, Eliza, and welcome on board. Eliza's asking how long it'll take the chicks to fledge, and I can actually see a bird moving in there at the moment. I can't tell whether it's a chick or an adult. Anyway, back to your question. If you just keep watching that hole closely, you may see a little bit of movement or a beak stick out. But I think it's a 21-day period, a 3-week period before they fledge after hatching. I could be wrong, but it's around 3 weeks, I think, from the moment they hatch till the moment they fledge. And I think it's about a 10-day or 12-day incubation period that the female will incubate the chicks for. And within that kind of 1 month overall period, she'll undergo a full feather molt and get some nice new feathers, so when she breaks out of the nest again, she's had a full makeover, which I guess is a perk of being stuck in that chamber for a long period of time. It must be a great feeling when she gets to stretch her wings again. So I can see some movement in there, like I say. Whether it's an adult or a chick, I'm not sure, but what is strange is that we haven't had any sign of another adult coming to drop off a kill, which they usually do, but maybe it'll pop in just before we close down. But thank you for that question, Eliza. I hope all is well in Calgary. Well, there's just 1 minute left, and I'd just like to say a very big thank you from myself and Jason on camera, as well as Alex in the control room. We will spend the next few hours relaxing before the afternoon drive, and I thoroughly look forward towards it. So probably going to end up starting looking for Kunyuma this afternoon, so that's all I'll leave you with for this afternoon's plans. Thereafter, anything is possible. But again, from myself, Jason, and Alex in control, thanks very much for joining us, and until this afternoon, take it easy. He just made his way down to here, which he'll lie flat again. He might stay here for a bit longer now. Wow.